Hey everybody, my name's Kim. I am new to YouTube. I have had a couple of people tell me that I should come on here and make some videos to try and talk about keto a little bit, the ketogenic diet. If you follow me on Instagram, you already have seen my pictures and know that I've been successful at losing a decent amount of weight. So I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit, talk about my journey and how I got here and why I started and why I think that it's amazing. It's an amazing way of eating, an amazing way of life, and it really opens a lot of different doors for you, or it did for me. Not just, it's just physically, mentally, emotionally. It's just been a really, really wonderful experience. The whole journey has been great. There's been ups and downs, but I'll go into that a little bit. So, basically, it started a long time ago. I've dealt with weight issues most of my life. I've been overweight most of my life. I was never really like huge, but I was definitely overweight, and I definitely felt out of place and felt different than the other kids growing up, and I got made fun of. And I remember in 3rd grade, a girl said, "Are you pregnant or something?" And it really took me back. I just didn't, I don't know. I struggled with self-confidence all throughout school, through elementary, through middle, through high school. And then after that, I just kind of stopped caring, and I just kind of started accepting it, and just kind of thought that this is just the way that I am, and this is the way that I'm gonna be, and there's nothing that's gonna. This is just it, and this is the body that I'm stuck with, and so I better, I might as well make the best of it. But back in May of 2016, I went to go get my passport picture taken because I was going on a cruise with my daughter and my husband. And I went to go get my passport picture taken, and they handed me a copy of it, and I was just totally blown away. I couldn't believe how big I was. I just couldn't believe how big I had gotten. At that time, I was on a particular medicine, that helped in me gaining a good amount of weight in a short period of time. My eating habits were terrible. They were absolutely terrible. But the medicine definitely helped, that process along. So I gained probably 30 pounds in like a 3-month span of time. So when I saw the picture, I was just shocked. And that was kind of the first moment that I was just like, wow, I need to do something about this, because it's getting out of control, and I don't really know how it got to this point, but all I know is that it's going to keep getting worse if I don't do something about it. And at that time, we weren't married yet. We got married in November, so this was back in May. And so I knew too that, we were getting married soon, and I wanted to look beautiful in my wedding gown, and, I just knew it was time. I had to do something. I had to figure something out. So we went on a cruise, and I came home, and I started kind of going to the gym, and I met with a personal trainer, and I just, like, what can I do? And he looked at me, and he's like, yeah, you need to definitely dedicate some time at the gym, and you need to change your eating habits. And I was just like, I don't really have a whole lot of time to get here. I can get here when I can, but I can't fully commit to it. You know, my husband works full time, and I'm a full-time stay-at-home mom, and I watch her all day, every day. I'm her caretaker. I'm responsible for her, and so a lot of times I'm not really able to get out of my house without my child. I can't bring my child to the gym. You know, I just wasn't really sure how that was going to work for me at that particular time in my life, that I was going to be able to make it to the gym 5-6 days a week. It just didn't seem like possible to me. But I kept going for, you know, a couple weeks, and then I wouldn't say that I changed my eating habits, but I started planning on, you know, I started looking into different diets, and I had done Weight Watchers in the past, so I kind of started thinking about, you know, maybe I should go back to Weight Watchers, try that out again. Weight Watchers worked to a degree. You know, I lost some weight on it, but for me personally, without saying, you know, without bashing it, I had way too much freedom on Weight Watchers. I could eat whatever I wanted. You know, you got all these extra points every week, and if you wanted cake, you know, eat cake. Like, if you wanted to cheat, you can cheat, and I cheated. You know, I just took advantage of it, and I needed more structure than that. But so then I was on Facebook one day, and a friend of mine on Facebook popped up, and I saw a picture of her, and I hadn't seen a picture of her in a long time, and she was so tiny, and I sent her a message, and I just said, oh my gosh, you know, you lost weight, you look amazing, you look fantastic, what did you do? How did you do that? Like, how could I do this? And she just said the word keto, and that was the first time I'd ever heard of it. She explained it to me a little bit, and the more and more she talked, the more and more I was like, oh my god, I can do this. Like, I could totally do this. It's strict, you know, and yeah, there's a lot of, it sounds like a good amount of sacrifices and a lot of changes that I'm going to have to make, but I can totally do this. Like, I'm going to do this. So I started getting really excited, and I joined a bunch of Facebook groups, and I kind of hung back for a little bit and watched and read a lot. I read you know, everything that everybody wrote, and I looked at every single progress picture that I could, and the more and more that I looked at these pictures and read these people's stories, the more I was just like sold on it, you know. I just could not believe that these people were losing, you know, 20, 50, 100 pounds, you know, by just cutting out certain things out of their diet. And, like, you know, a lot of them weren't exercising, and they just made sacrifices and were able to do it. And I just couldn't believe it. So I just decided to go for it. Like I said, I researched it as much as I could, and then I picked a start date. I went grocery shopping. You know, I had a weekend where I was like, okay, I'm going to eat whatever I want this weekend, and I'm starting on Monday. So I literally just, like, pigged out over the weekend. We ordered pizza, I ate everything. I just, like, you know, went crazy. And then it was just me saying goodbye, and then I knew from that point on that I was not going to cheat. I was not going to touch that stuff, because I was just totally, fully committing myself to this diet, to this way of eating, to this change, and I was just so ready for it, and I knew that I needed it. So I started in June of 2016, and within the first couple of weeks or so, I should have looked at this before because I don't really remember exactly, but I started seeing results, you know, very quickly. Let's see. I started at 245 pounds, and let's see, in the first month I lost 20 pounds, and the second month I got down to 27. After that, it was a pretty good steady flow of about anywhere between 10 to 15 pounds a month. I just, you know, at first it was more, and then it got a little bit less and less each month, but it stayed at about 10 pounds a month. So, you know, June, July, August, September, October. Once that started coming around, my wedding was just around the corner. We got married in November, and October came around, and at that point I had lost about 50 pounds, and I just remember going into my dress fittings, and I kept, every time I'd go in, I'd be like, I lost another 10 pounds, so, you know, I really hope that you guys can help me out here and help me with this dress. Hopefully I can still wear my wedding dress. That's, you know, my wedding's in like 3 weeks. Hopefully you can help me. By the time that I got married on the 6th of November in 2016, I was down to 185 pounds. So I had lost 60 pounds. I set the goal for 50, and I hit 60. So that was a wonderful, amazing feeling. So then we got married, and you know, that day and my honeymoon, I didn't do keto. We went on a cruise, and I didn't go crazy, but, you know, I indulged on my honeymoon and my wedding. And then when I came back, I decided, well, you know, I'm already not in ketosis anymore, and let me just kind of play around with this a little bit and see, you know, if I can maintain this weight loss, and, you know, just see what I can do. So I didn't jump back into keto, but I did stay low carb. I didn't eat junk, you know, I didn't add in like the pizza or the sweets or soda, any of that stuff. I just, I started eating fruit, and I added in a little bit of brown rice, and a little bit, every once in a while I would have like some whole wheat bread, or like, you know, whole wheat pasta. But that's really all that I added in. And I, every single time that I would do that, I would literally look at the serving size and have I'd weigh and measure, which I should mention, the 60 pounds that I lost, I weighed and measured, and tracked everything that I ate, every single thing. I didn't do lazy keto. I used a food scale, and I used measuring cups and measuring spoons and all that. So I was very, very strict with my macros, and it worked for me. I know that lazy keto works for a lot of people, and maybe it would have worked for me too, but I'm really happy with the results that I got with staying really strict with specific numbers. So anyway, I decided, so then, yeah, so then we got married, and then honeymoon, and then, yeah, I started eating, added in those couple of things, and then the holidays came, you know, and on Thanksgiving, I had some stuff, I had a little bit of stuffing, and I had a little bit of pie, and then, on Christmas, I went a little crazy, and I had some potatoes, and I had some chocolate and stuff. So by the time it was almost New Year's, I gained 5 pounds, which I was okay with, because during that 2-month break, I had maintained my weight at 185 the whole time, and then that very last like 10 days, I gained 5 pounds, because I indulged in Christmas. So then I decided to go ahead and start keto again, January 1st. So I started again, and since then I've been able to lose. I immediately lost 20 pounds, which was great. And then I got down to right now I'm currently at 151.4. So total, I am down 93.6 pounds. So I've got another roughly 6.5 pounds to go until I reach my 100-pound mark. After that, I'm not really sure what I want to do yet. I'm not really sure if I want to keep doing keto, or if I want to do what I did when I took my 2-month break and add in a little bit of fruit and, still eat low carb, but I enjoyed being able to add in, a little bit of fruit and rice and stuff like that. That being said, being on keto right now, and during all the months that I have been on keto, I haven't needed to have brown rice, rice at all. I haven't needed to have the other fruits. I've been able to have strawberries, and there's always kind of like alternatives for the things that you're craving or the things that you want. So I don't necessarily think that I have to do that. So I'm not really sure. I just kind of need to play it by ear, I think, at this point, and see where my journey takes me. But I am 150% all for keto. I love it. It's amazing. It has totally transformed me, like I said in the beginning, from the inside out. Totally. Just, it's amazing. I feel like a totally different person. I am more confident than I've ever been in my entire life, which is deeper for me, because obviously it's great to feel confidence, but having a daughter, it's really, really important to me that she loves herself. No matter if she gets bullied or picked on, I always want her to know that she's beautiful. And so I want to be able, I hated being insecure all the time around her, I didn't want to be so, oh gosh, mommy's uncomfortable, mommy's hiding, and make her start to feel like, well, maybe I should be hiding too, maybe I need to be uncomfortable. So to be able to just like be myself and just, it's just a wonderful feeling. So I totally recommend it to anybody. All I can say is just give it a try. It's a total game changer. Like, I call it the magical unicorn diet, because it's crazy. Like, you follow it, and yes, you make sacrifices, but they are so worth it. I tell people all the time, when people say, well, how do you say no? Like, how do you say no to the cravings? And I work in a place where people give me treats all the time, and I just don't know how to refuse it. And I just look at them and I just say, the instant gratification that you get from eating that food is just absolutely nothing compared to the feelings that you start to feel, when you start to lose when you lose your first 10 pounds, or your pants start to fall off, or you're in the dressing room and you're trying clothes on and you just start smiling instead of crying. Like, it's things like that. Like, there's so many non-scale victories that happen along the way that are just so powerful, and just so, the whole time you're just, I don't know. For me, that's what got me through it. It just was never worth it to me. In the beginning, it was really hard. I would see something and I would just want it. But then it just got easier and easier to just say, I don't want that. So now, of course, if I smell something and I'm like, oh, that smells good, but like, I don't sit there and think like, I need that, or like, I don't know. When you eat something, when you cheat, it's like you feel so much worse on the inside, and physically and mentally than you did. You're so much worse off than you were by choosing to not eat it and to just kind of deal with that, like, I really wanted that, but okay, it passes, and then a little bit later you're like, I didn't eat that, and I feel great about that. Like, I'm so proud of myself for not eating that. And then the more times that you do that, the more you're just like, I don't want that. Like, you don't even think about it, because you've already tested yourself and proven over and over and over again that you don't need that, and you don't want that, and you feel proud of yourself when you say no. So that's really all that I have to say in this video. I want to continue making these videos if I get some people to watch it, if you guys like it. If anybody has any questions or anything, feel free to message me. I'm not really familiar how YouTube works. I still need to kind of figure it out a little bit. I'm on Instagram as keto_fit_Kim. So feel free to follow me on there, or message me on there. But yeah, all I can say is just, like I said, just give it a try. The worst that happens is that you just feel, you just decide that it's not for you, and that, you need to try something else. But for me, it really, really worked. And for a lot of people, it really, really works. And it will totally change your life. So, alright, thank you so much for watching.